America Singer has never been one of those typical girly girls. She's never been into frills and lace and has never in her life wanted to be a part of a competition where she'd have to fight for a prince's heart. However, she's placed in that position when her name is drawn along with 34 other girls in her entire society. All of these girls are taken to the palace and are trying to fight for Prince Maxim's heart. The only thing is, she doesn't even really want to be there and is only there for the fact that she has to be. Otherwise, her family and herself could be in possible danger. But at that expense, she loses the only love she's ever known, Aspen, who is not even supposed to be with her because he is a caste lower than her and could possibly be put to death for the fact that they are actually together and it is against the law. In the first novel of the Selection series, The Selection by Kiera Cass, we follow America as she tries to figure out exactly how she's going to get through this entire process of getting to know Prince Maxim and everything that kind of goes along with that. She wants nothing to do with Prince Maxim or anything to do with his love or anything, so she just basically tries to follow the rules, do what she can, and get the heck out. Overall, what I first noticed about this novel is how eerily similar some of the structures of the society are to that of the Hunger Games. Similar to the Hunger Games, where there are 13 districts of people that are of varying levels of income and types of work, this is similar to how the Selections society is, except there are 8 different levels of income and working. It's still very similar in the fact, though, that the higher number you are, the lower your status is in the society. For instance, in the Hunger Games, District 13 was basically wiped out and was the poorest of the poor. They pretty much had no standing whatsoever. And in the Selection, if you were of the 7th caste, you were essentially not really anything. You didn't have really any money, you had nothing really to show for yourself, and you were pretty much just invisible to the rest of the society. The biggest difference obviously between the two is the fact that the Hunger Games basically pit people against each other, males and females alike, in order to compete for a grand prize, which would be to earn respect for their district, whereas in the Selection, there's really not any problem with losing. It's just you don't end up marrying the prince, but you still get money or so much for your family, no matter what district you're from, and for the time being that you are in the palace, your family gets a certain amount of money every week, which if you're in a lower caste, that's really good because that could mean that your family eats well for the next couple of years or however exactly long you are in the palace. My overall thoughts on the Selection was that it was actually a really good book. Honestly, I really did like it a lot, but unfortunately I had a lot of personal problems with it, and it wasn't anything to do with what Kiera Cass did that I didn't like. It was just some of the things that happened in the story I kind of just got mad at because, you know, when you read a book and something goes wrong you don't like, you just want to hate it so much, but you know that it's actually pretty good. That's essentially what happened with me in the Selection, because there were so many things that happened to America that I didn't like, things that she had to deal with and things that she had to experience. I think overall Kiera Cass did a really good job of playing up those inner turmoils that would happen in a situation like this for a young girl. Another thing I really liked is that Kiera Cass placed America in a position that wasn't overtly high class, wasn't overtly low class. She made her much more average against most of the other girls that she was a part of this competition with, which I really liked because, you know, it gives a different perspective for someone who is much more kind of average, has a little bit less money than the rest of the group, but isn't like suffering too badly. So there were a lot of different things that I feel like were played into because of that. The way that she would dress, the way she would speak, the way she handled certain situations. It was just really interesting to me that, you know, Kiera picked a character who was going to be much more, wasn't going to have to deal with as much adversity as someone who would be from a lower caste or have as little adversity as someone who would be from a higher caste. I like that she kind of kept it in the middle because I feel like that is the kind of story we want to hear more from, is somebody who is much more average, someone that we can relate to a little bit more. I think really the only thing I didn't like about this book was the fact that it made me so angry sometimes with some of the things that would come up, but it was good because that was the way it was supposed to feel. I feel like a lot of the books I'm coming up against lately are giving me problems because it's things that I know are a problem and should be a problem for me. So those are the only reasons I don't like it, is because those certain scenarios happen, but I know they're supposed to happen and they're supposed to make sense, and they do. It's very confusing for me. Like, I'm very conflicted at how I feel about that, because there were a lot of things in America before she actually left to go to the palace that happened that I was like, no, this is not happening. I don't like this. Stop it. No. So am I going to read the rest of the selection series? Most likely. I definitely will pick up the next book for sure whenever I find it, because I actually am curious to see how things continue from here, because I really did enjoy this novel. I think it was very interesting. This really reminded me of what something like The Bachelor would be if it was put in book form, because you have all these girls who are fighting for the same man to get his attention and his heart, and basically end up becoming his wife and future queen of the society. And it made me kind of giggle a little bit, because I hate shows like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, but I really kind of enjoyed this. So I'm very conflicted as far as if I need to watch The Bachelor. I just hate reality shows and how stupid they all seem. But this one, for some reason, this book, a reality show in a book, didn't bother me that much. I mean, there were some things here and there, like with Maxon, I didn't care for, but that's because, you know, he's a prince and he kind of has a self-entitlement and things like that, which I feel like many people would hate anyway. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I'm not afraid to say it. I liked this book a lot, and I definitely will be picking up the next book in the future once I find it. But yeah, if you guys have read the selection by Kiera Cass, or you've read the entire series, let me know what your thoughts were down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I'm excited to see how the rest of this series goes, so let me know without spoiling how you thought the series went, if you thought it's worth reading, if you thought it's definitely got similar characteristics as far as the structure of the society to the Hunger Games, because maybe I'm just reading a little bit too much into it, but I thought that they seemed fairly similar. So yeah, just let me know what your guys' opinions are down in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy this book review, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!